Hey, this is Brandon Fussell, and this is my podcast, Motivational Messages. I hope this message inspires you, motivates you, and helps you stay connected to God. God puts these messages on my heart, so I'm going to give it to you. Enjoy the message. Hey, what's going on? Hey, look, it's October the 6th, 2021. I want to tell y'all a little bit about my experience with COVID. So, July the 12th, I tested positive for COVID. It was probably around July the 8th, I started really feeling weird, started feeling different. So, as y'all know, I work for CSX, so I have to stay in hotels occasionally. So I remember my last 3 round trips before July the 12th. We stayed in a hotel longer than usual. And I stayed, I took a train down, stayed in a hotel, came back home, went back, stayed in a hotel. I've done that twice. And I remember the last day that I was in a hotel, I was really sore, just feeling weird. I thought maybe it was because I've been staying in a hotel so long, nothing to do, just not being able to do much. I thought that had me sore feeling. Well, I remember that night, I was like freezing to death in that hotel room. And yeah, the AC was kicking, but usually I normally don't get cold, especially in July. I was freezing to death, so I got up, took a shower, a hot shower, and I froze to death in that shower. I knew then something wasn't right. The next day, taking a train back to Waycross, I had to do a lot of work building the train, and I remember it was hot in July, as usual, and I remember sweating more than I usually do. My head was hurting. My throat was hurting. I just remember being tired feeling. So that night I got home like around 10 o'clock at night. And we do have those tests at the house, the COVID home test. So I didn't feel right when I got home, so I did take the test. And of course it showed that I was positive. So the next day I went to our local walk-in clinic and they verified that I'm positive. That was July the 12th. So I had to contact CSX and they took me out medical. So for about 12, 13 days, I was positive. And let me tell you, I lost smell, I lost taste. I was hurting, I was sore. Some days was good, some days wasn't. But the major thing that hit me was my breathing. About day 8, 9, or 10, I just could not breathe. Shortness of breath, winded. Like, I tried to do stuff outside, take boxes to the shed, clean my shed, and I was just miserable. I was tired. I could walk to my shed and I was out of breath. I was done. And so when I did become negative, I went to the doctor, and pretty much ever since my blood pressure has been messed up ever since. I do take blood pressure medicine, but it's been messed up. And I'll tell you this, sometimes my thinking, like I could be, thinking of something, and it's like I have a brain fart, a brain fog, where it's hard to remember stuff. But that's getting better. My taste, smell, all that, I believe it's gonna came back. I can smell and taste stuff. And but occasionally, like I went back to work 2 months later. So September the 11th, I went back to work. I should have actually stayed out longer, but climbing up and down on the cars, on the locomotive, walking on the rocks, and we have to catch up on a train when it's moving and dismount. We have to mount and dismount on a train when it's moving. All that, requires breathing just to pick yourself up. So I still have shortness of breath. I still get winded, and I still get dizzy occasionally. But I'll try my best to just work through it now. So what I'm trying to tell you is, I just got my second vaccine. So I guess, as you say, I'm completely vaccinated. And I done it because I live in a house with 4 kids. So my 13-year-old got vaccinated. My 17-year-old don't want to be vaccinated. My wife got vaccinated. My 7-year-old can't. He's too young. But my 2-year-old did catch the COVID while I was out. And for 5 days, he was in pretty bad shape. He pretty much didn't sleep at all for 5 days. But I was actually home so I can watch him during the day, so it actually worked out pretty good. But so hopefully he has the antibodies or whatever it is since he had COVID. So that's a good thing. It kind of worries me about my 7-year-old. But listen, I don't know if you believe in COVID. I don't know, if you think it's a government trying to force you to do stuff that you don't want to do. But I'm here to tell you that it's real. Something is real about it. It's not the flu. I'll tell you that. And, if you sit here and listen to me, hey, it's your choice if you want to get vaccinated. It's completely your choice. But I'm telling you, when you test positive, I didn't know that you can go get a fusion when I had it. So you can go get that if you test positive, and I think it does help you out. But anyway, when you test positive for COVID, in the back of your mind, you're going to be wondering if you are going to make it through it. I'm telling you. It hits people differently. Some make it through it, some die, and some are kind of like me that, still paying the price for it. But I'm telling you, right now, you need to pray to God and ask Him. You need to pray, God, do I need to get the vaccine? In the back of my mind, I think the government is pushing me and I don't want to get it. God, please help me to figure out if I need to get the vaccine or not. You need to pray to God. I don't know what you believe in. I don't know, your thoughts on the vaccine. And I'm not here to push you to get it. I'm just telling you my experience that I'm still suffering through it. 3 months later, I'm still suffering and having side effects. And I think the main reason is when I was in the 4th grade, I was in a hospital for like 10 days with pneumonia. And I remember the doctor saying that it had scarred my lungs, and if I ever catch it again, it would be hard to get over it. So I think that's one reason why I'm dealing with it. But anyway, listen. If you listen to my podcast, I'm all about talking to God. I'm all about motivating you. I'm all about encouraging you. And I'm trying to inspire you to have a better connection with God. So right now, I'm telling you my testimony of COVID. But listen, pray to God, talk to God, and tell Him your thoughts on COVID. And pray that He reveals to you if it's what you need to get or not. Because I have an active family. One thing, I don't want to get it again. And I know, I've done a lot of research. If you get vaccinated, you can still catch COVID. And you can still pass it. So you still can get it. You can still catch it. And you can still pass it. But the ones that around me that has been vaccinated and caught COVID, it hasn't been as bad. And I know there are situations that people catch it and they don't do good, even though they was vaccinated. And I do know that if you vaccinated, when you get vaccinated, there's been bad situations that happen out of that. So out of all the situations in this world, you need to pray to God. Say, God, I'm scared to get vaccinated, but I'm scared to catch COVID. You know, if I get vaccinated, what's it going to do to my body? If I don't get vaccinated and catch the COVID, what's that going to do to my body? So right now, just pray to God and let Him reveal to you if you need to get vaccinated or not. That way you will feel better. Because look, if you have a family, if you have a wife, if you have, you know, young kids or, you know, elderly parents, you know, all that's gonna cause a problem if you catch COVID. You know, you definitely don't want nobody to catch the COVID because you was ignorant and didn't get it, is what I'm trying to say to you. But again, if you had the vaccine and they don't, they can still catch it. So all of this is what I'm trying to tell you. Just give it to God, pray to God, and let Him decide for you. At least you'll have a good feeling, because when it comes down to it, and if you do catch it, and I believe that it's going to find everybody. I really believe that it's going to find everybody, just like the cold, just like the flu, just like the little, you know, bug that goes around every once in a while. It's going to find you. But when you catch it, and I pray that you don't catch it, but when you catch it, I want you to feel 100% that was your choice. If you got the vaccine or not, I want you to feel confident that whatever the outcome is, that was your plan. So if you listen to this podcast, this was just a little story, a little testimony about how I caught the COVID. 3 months ago, well, it's about to be 3 months ago. I'm still dealing with it. So, and I was against at first getting the vaccine. My wife was too, but I think we've seen how I ended up being, and I'm still suffering through it. And, you know, I have good days, I have bad days, and I don't tell a lot of people, but you know, I still have shortness of breath and I get winded. But you know, I've done all the chest X-rays. I've done the CTA scans. It showed I had no blood clots. It showed everything was good. So I'm just dealing with the outcome of what COVID does. But listen, if you listen to this podcast, thank y'all for listening. Do your job and just give it to God and let Him reveal to you if it's what you need to do or not. Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Just give it to God. Thank y'all for listening to this podcast. Hey, thanks for listening to this episode, and feel free to donate. Can't stop, won't stop. Keep on keeping on. Joshua 1:9. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Follow my podcast. That way you won't miss any new episodes. Godspeed.